What's going on, everybody? Rogue Hero here. As you guys see, it's not another vlog. I was waiting on my replacement cord for my microphone to come in so I can film my second vlog I did this week. Like, I left my microphone somewhere, my cord somewhere, so couldn't do the voiceovers for the duel. So my other vlog is on hold until I get the replacement cord. But you guys didn't click here for that. You guys clicked here for the Banlist prediction video that everyone's talking about it, man. It's the Banlist season. People are deciding on what's gonna get hit. And I have my own take on what I personally think is going to happen. So, man, let's just get straight into it, bro. I don't want to waste you guys' time. Now, the way I do my balance predictions is kind of different than most people. Some people to give you the semi-limited and the unlimited. And personally, you really can't predict that Konami is going to do what Konami does. And a lot of times, a lot of content creators think we know what it is when we really don't. I'm just going to give you my opinions on what I think should get hit. And I guess like a few cards, but I think could probably come back. Also, smash this like button. If this video gets to 500 likes, 500 likes is the video goal. But yeah, man, off the rip, banned. I think I can see Verde Anaconda getting banned, Imperial Order getting banned, Scythe potentially getting banned, Mystic Mind potentially getting banned, and the Wind Barrier statue, right? Now, before a lot of you butthurt Yu-Gi-Oh players click off the video and dislike the video, I don't care if you do it or not, because the dislike counter's not even there anymore, per YouTube policy. Let me give you guys a reason on why I think these cards should be banned piece by piece. Verde Anaconda. This card has been a pain in my ass since the beginning of the format, right? I don't like it because it's too generic. Like, cards like Fusion Destiny, cards like Red Eyes Fusion should not be splashable. But they are splashable cards. But if you want to play those cards in decks that's not meant for those decks, like for example, Red Eyes Fusion is meant for a dragon deck. Fusion Destiny is meant for a hero deck. You can splash those engines in other decks, but the risk of doing that is they could break. But cards like Verde Anaconda make it not so bricky because you can go combo, make Verde, pay 2,000, send those materials, and you're Gucci, right? And that makes those cards way too consistent, and it makes those cards too free. Now, me personally, based on the most recent OCG ban list, they hit Fusion Destiny to prevent this, but at the same time, it's kind of like, bro, why? Hit the problem. Hit Verde Anaconda. Now, I don't know if Verde Anaconda is hitting the OCG. It could be or could not be. However, I personally believe that Fusion Destiny is not a problem. I mean, it's a good card. You want to play dead hero cards in your freaking Drytron deck, go for it. You just run the risk of breaking. And same thing for Red Eyes Fusion. Like, Dragoons is not that hard of a card to beat. Like, it's a solidly good boss monster. Like, I don't want Yu-Gi-Oh! Becoming a game where we cannot have generically good cards like it was back in the day. When I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in 2002, like a lot of you guys, we had broken cards like Smashing Ground. Well, not in 2002, but we had like Fisher, Goblin Attack Force, things that was generic. Injection Fairy Lily. Man, this is bringing me back to my childhood. And those cards were generically good, but they shined in the archetypes that they were made for, specifically like Warrior Beatdown, Monster Beatdown, and etc. And the more Yu-Gi-Oh! Is evolving, it's evolving mainly to a game that's pre-built decks like Prank Kids. Some could argue Heroes is a pre-built deck. And when I say pre-built decks that Konami just pit out all the pieces in the pack, and you pretty much just build it based on the pieces, and you guys figure out the best ratios and go from there. And then that's the biggest problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just having archetype-based decks, because archetype-based decks prevent creativity. So when people do things like make an engine work in a different deck, I like that. But when an engine just don't specifically work, and Konami give you cards like Verde Anaconda to just splash that engine conveniently with less chances of breaking, I'm not for that. So that's why I got banned Verde. Imperial Order, this card should have never came back personally. Like, I do know Upper Deck back in the day said that they want every card to come off the ban list at least once. I don't know how Konami feels about that in 2021. They probably would never bring back cards like Cyberjar, Fiberjar, things like that. Those cards are really, really good and ridiculous. However, with the bringing back of Imperial Order, I'm assuming the theory was the players have anti-spell fragrance, and typically it's like the same thing. But the problem is, though, I can play anti-spell with my opponent and I can still lose, because anti-spell not only hurts me, I have to set my spells as well. But in decks that can set up boards, established boards like Sword Soul, some can argue Praying Kids that don't really need a lot of spells like that, Imperial Order is way too freaking good. Way too good. At least with cards like Anti-Spell, you could set and activate it on the following turn. However, with that being said, sorry for that notification. With that being said, I just personally, I mean, Imperial Order, like, I don't think I really have to go into detail on why the card should have never came back. The card is goofy. It's too ridiculous. Yeah, this is not good enough. Artifact Scythe. This is a popular pick for the meta right now. Artifact Scythe was popularized back in like 2014. Rest in peace to the YCS champion that won that year. Can't think of his name right now, but it's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it right. But rest in peace to that guy. He's the Magic player. Oh, Corey McDuffie, man. Rest in peace to Corey McDuffie. Really awesome Yu-Gi-Oh player, phenomenal Magic player. He showed people why that card was broken in 2014. Like, he won nationals with that card. And at that time, people were like, oh, this card is good, but it's not that great. But locking the opponent blankly out of the extra deck is too good. And right now, it becomes to the point where you can run three. You can run like one Scythe and then three of the trap card to bring out Scythe. And if you go first, open up that setup board, you got a free OTK on your following turn. It's really good. And people shouldn't have to main deck Forbidden Chalice for that. I personally believe that either they're going to ban Scythe, which probably won't happen, but this is what a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh players are wanting to happen, or limit the trap card, especially some Scythe, so that way, because Artifacts is not a deck. The deck is not good anymore. The deck is 7 years old, going on 8 years old now. I can see them hitting the trap to make the engine less consistent. However, I think they're going to touch it, but then again, I could be wrong. But if they did hit it, I would not be surprised. Mystic Mind, this is self-explanatory. I don't agree with people who get stealing wins with Mystic Mind. There's literally people who play certain decks like Mystic Mind, Final Countdown, Chain Burn. And while decks like Chain Burn is not as good anymore because a lot of decks have spamming Omni Negates, back in the day, we didn't have spam Omni Negate. So if you got Chain Burn, you just got Chain Burn. Problem with Mystic Mind is there's not a lot of cards that can stop Mystic Mind unless you have a spell card that can stop Mystic Mind. And the meta doesn't always call for main deck spell cards. And Mystic Mind can just steal games. So until we come into making cards consistently in every meta deck that says, hey, banish this card from the graveyard and pop a card on the board, Mystic Mind is going to be too good. It steals wins and give people victories they shouldn't win. Like, I shouldn't be having an OTK comment, top deck Mystic Mind, my opponent's top deck Mystic Mind, come back and win. Like, that's goofy. But at the same time, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, which is why Konami haven't touched it. I do know in the OCG it was a very unpopular card. Like, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, no matter what part of the world you're in, we really do not like cards that stop us from playing the game that we love. So I think Mystic Mind getting banned would be good. However, realistically speaking, it probably won't happen. However, if it did happen, kudos Konami. And I got Wind Barrier statue because same thing with Mystic Mind, like the Trabergrade Lyricist or the Lyricist deck in general, it should be able to set up a board because I'm all for people setting up I'm all for decks setting up boards to break my board or bust, because that's just the era of format, the era of Yu-Gi-Oh we're in. We're in a break my board or lose era. It's been like that for the past 3 years now, since Dragon Link became a thing. And Barrier Statue just says no. And I'm not for that, because the fact that it says you cannot special summon right now in a game where there's no decks, no good win decks outside of the deck that it's played in. So, for example, right, in my hero deck, heroes don't play any win special summons outside of like the masked hero for Stratos. Every other deck in the game don't really play win special summons. So the fact that the Barrier Statue is easily special summonable to the field and can just lock the opponent out is really unfair. That's also another reason why people are running cards like Forbidden Chalice, Infinite Impermanence, but you shouldn't have to rely on a card like that to save you from a unfair game state. Same thing with Mystic Mind. So if that card gets hit, I wouldn't be surprised. Or maybe if the card that brings it out, like let's say for example the win card that special summons the one from the deck each turn, that card is ridiculous. Like at the end phase, special summon a win monster. That's goofy as heck. So either one of those cards need to hit. If they want the deck to still have its power and not lose everything, hit the barrier statue, and we're gonna go from there. Now, limited, I only got one card. And that's Tri-Brigade Revolt. Now, I know a lot of people are saying Fractal. Fractal is the one that sends and fuels their graveyard, but I don't really care about Fractal. Fractal is a card that's just good for the deck. I really would like to see Revolt hit, because Revolt is just Return from Different Dimension 2.0. For you guys that don't know what Return from Different Dimension is, it's an old trap card. I think you pay half your life once, special all your banished monsters back, and then they die at the end turn. But at that point, you're gonna OTK. So back in the Chaos days, like in 2005 or 6, if you had a Return from Different Dimension in your light and dark deck, you're pretty much gonna be win. And it's the same thing right now. It's just Return from Different Dimension 2.0 in a deck that can search it. If it wasn't searchable, I would have no problem with Revolt. But the fact that the card is searchable, it has to go. At least get it to 1. Like, I'm not gonna say Tri-Brigade shouldn't have at least be able to use it 1 time, but the fact that they can search out 1, because 1 is enough as it is, but the fact that they can spam it multiple times and get it off the top deck is just too good. I think limiting that card to 1 would hurt the deck, but not make the deck bad. It just to make the deck somewhat playable. And as far as everything else, like I said, I would like to see Hero Lives back to 3 because I'm a hero player. I would like to see Cyberjar come back at least once or twice. Fiberjar come back at least once or twice, because those are just cards I grew up with. But as far as the semi-limits and unlimited, I'm gonna leave that for you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. I know popular picks are like Max C and etc. But like I said, man, we really can't predict the semi-limiteds and unlimiteds. And just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This past format with a rogue deck like Heroes, because even I believe Heroes tier 1.5 is still rogue. And I've been doing good. They don't get it twisted. The format is very, very healthy. The format is extremely, extremely healthy. So I don't think the ban list needs to do a lot. It just needs to get these problem cards out of here. Like, as a recap, ban Verde, Imperial Order, Scythe or the Scythe Engine, Mystic Mind, Barrier Statue, Limit Revolt. Because I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in a healthy state right now, and the game hasn't been this healthy since like 2013, 2014 era. Like, the game, in my opinion, haven't been as healthy since the +1 Fire Fist format, which is one of my favorite formats because that's what the format I got my YCS top in. So, with all that being said, man, post your thoughts and opinions about this video in the comment section down below. Like the video if you're new here. If you want to subscribe for more, subscribe for more. It's your boy Rogue Hero, and I'm signing out. Peace. See you guys in the next video.